أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Aku berlindung kepada Allah dari godaan syaitan yang terkutuk.
So, when I look at it, so do you believe Jesus was not born to a virgin? Do you believe that?
Being an old nurse,
right?
You don't have to have intercourse to get pregnant.
Gotcha.
Men can ejaculate outside of the woman.
That is true.
And the little sperm can
Gets
go right
in.
up.
Gotcha.
And if she's got an egg there, hey, you're gonna have a baby.
So do you think God's sperm got into Mary?
I don't think so. I think number one, Mary was, how old was Mary?
12 to 14.
14.
Joseph was 90, right?
Well, I don't know how old, but he was an old man.
Yeah, old
I
man.
don't think it was 90. It was probably maybe 40 or.
The Catholic Encyclopedia had him at 90 and her at 12.
I had not heard that.
Right.
No. I was taught 14, but
60, 70.
He was
old.
Like a 50, 60-year-old man. But maybe he was at an age where he couldn't ejaculate, or he could ejaculate, but
his sperm didn't get there. Gotcha.
And the sperm got there, but.
Okay. So you think Jesus is Joseph's physical son then, not God's son?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't.
So you think Jesus
No,
is?
it could be Joseph's.
Could be Joseph's son.
Yeah, could
Jesus.
be Joseph's son.
All right.
Because you have to have a sperm and an egg to meet.
Gotcha. But don't you think that's the point of the miraculous birth? Is that it was different from the regular idea of sperm and egg? Right.
Gee.
I mean, we as Muslims agree with you that Jesus is not the son of God. Like we're with you on that one. We don't believe he's the son of Joseph either. We believe he had no father, just like Adam had no father or mother. No egg, no sperm, but God made Adam, right? And Eve was from the rib, as we all see in the scriptures, right? Meaning, as you can take a DNA today, as just to understand, and you can, clone a human being. Allah is greater than that, the creator. So he made Eve from Adam, without a father or mother. So to us, it's not something impossible for God, right? For the creator, to give birth to a child without a father. It doesn't mean that he's a son of God, right? Like you said, the Aramaic being translated into Greek, if you look in the Bible, you will find many sons, as we say sons by the tons, right? In Exodus, for example, you will find, then you shall say to Pharaoh, thus says the Lord, Israel is my son, my firstborn. So here Israel is being called the son of God. But in Aramaic, that's a term of respect. It's a term of endearment, right? It's not physically the son of God.
Right.
So we Muslims believe that Jesus is the prophet of God, and he was born miraculously to a Virgin Mary, but he's not the physical son of God. Just like you see Solomon here, in 2 Samuel 7:13, and he shall build a house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. I will be his father, and he shall be my son. And this is being spoken to David about his son, which is Solomon. So here Solomon is called the son, but again, not a physical son, but in the Aramaic term of endearment. David as well, in the Psalms of David, 2 verse 7, I will declare the decree, the Lord has said to me, you are my son, today I have begotten you. This is God speaking to David. This is the Old Testament. But again, we don't mean that he's the physical son of God.
Right.
But Ephraim as well, you find in the Bible, for I am a father to Israel, and Ephraim is my firstborn. This is in Jeremiah 31:9. And Adam as well. If you look in the genealogy of Jesus, peace be upon all of the prophets, you see in the end the son of Enosh, the son of Seth, the son of Adam, the son of God. So Adam is called the son of God as well. And Jesus is also called the son of God. But again, like you were saying, an excellent point, that if you look at translations, for example, if you go to a priest today and you say, forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. Well, you don't mean Father like physically, like sperm. You mean a term of respect. So when Jesus says, I and the Father are one, again, it's like us saying we are one nation. We see Jesus talk about all the apostles and God being one as well, right? Again, none of that means that it is physically one, but again, in the sense of being on the same page or on the same mindset. And this is why we all believe that Jesus was a pious prophet of God, but not the Son physically, the Son of God. Yeah. This is the verse I was referring to here. If you look in John 17:20, I do not pray for thee alone, but I also pray for who will believe in me through their word, that all may be one, as you, my Father, are in me and I in you, that they also may be one in us. So Jesus is saying to the apostles that me, you, the Father, all of us, and anybody who comes after me are one in us. But this means that together. It doesn't mean physically, like, DNA and biologics here, right? And this is where the translation of a lot of Christians went astray from the Koine Greek or Aramaic to take Jesus to be God himself or the physical Son of God.
Yeah.
Jesus prays. And if you've seen how Jesus prays, he put his forehead to the ground, as Muslims do.
Yeah, well,
right?
That was a cultural thing, whether the Jewish or
exactly, but it's not culture, it's a religious tradition.
Yeah.
And we today pray the same way Jesus prayed. If you go to most churches, they'll either kneel or they'll go like this, or they'll sing and dance and
it's a
move
different
snakes.
culture.
Right, but we believe that you should stick to the religious traditions. Cultures change. What you eat, what you wear, how what country you live in, what language you speak, but the religion of God stays the same. Right? And those commandments given for there being one God, exactly, to love, to respect, not to kill, not to harm, not to steal, not to lie, not to worship idols. Right? Now today you go to churches, especially Catholic churches, the first thing you see are huge idols of saints and of Mary and of Jesus.
Way back in the Middle Ages.
Right? And how God had forbidden those, right? In the Bible, right? Even if you look at money, there you go. Now you know, right? So that's why.
History is really interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Money corrupted churches like you wouldn't believe. Yeah, it's so true. Yeah.
You have condolences?
Yeah.
You have to pay.
Right? When I was growing up, I grew up with a lot of Mexicans, and they were mostly Catholics, and they were gang members, and they would do horrible things. And Saturday night would be the fights, killing, shootouts, all that. Sunday morning, they were in church, and they would be like, "Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned." And he'd be like, "Say these many Hail Marys, donate to the church." There'd be money going in. That's what the mafia, Italian mafia, the Mexican mafia, very staunch Catholics, because they feel, we pay our money, we're done. In Mexico, they have an altar to the saint of drug dealers.
Where?
In Mexico. They have a saint for drug dealers. I kid you not. Yeah. It's look it up. It's amazing. So, how is that religion? How do you have? This is not what God had revealed to us how to live. God doesn't give saints to drug dealers. Drug dealing is wrong. This is something condemned. People die from those drugs, right?
That's right.
So, we agree that there's only one creator, right? And we believe that same creator sent messages and different prophets, right? So Abraham, Moses, Jesus, Muhammad, peace be upon all of them, they all brought that same message. That message, believe in one God, don't worship idols, don't worship people, don't worship animals, don't worship pieces of wood. Even if you look at the Christmas tree today, right? We see Christmas trees in every house, but
not my house.
Not your house, and not my house either. Great. But look, in the Bible, you will find in Jeremiah chapter 10, you see about that not to take on the customs of the futile, that who cut out the trees from the forest, the work of hands and the works of men with an axe, then decorated with silver and gold and fasten it with nails. This is being forbidden.
Wow, that's interesting.
That's interesting, right?
Jeremiah.
Look it up when you go home. Jeremiah 10, just read from 1 onwards. And this is a pagan festival. Christmas is a pagan festival. This is not the birth of Jesus.
No, that's right.
That is true. You see, you know it. But today, how many Christians celebrate it? Knowing or not knowing that Jesus was not born on the 25th of December. This was a pagan, solistic festival.
I've known that for years.
Excellent. See, you're there with Islam. I feel you. You're coming.
I love history. I mean, it is
excellent.
Amazing.
And as you've already said, that the original writings of the followers of Jesus are no longer. What we have today is based on Greek writings that were not written by Matthew and Luke. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, the authorship of many of these are anonymous. And that's why you see clear contradictions.